An unexamined life is not worth living. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Beware the barrenness of a busy life. Employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writing so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. Wisdom begins in wonder. To find yourself, think for yourself. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. Be as you wish to seem. Let him who would move the world first move himself. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. I was really too honest a man to be a politician and live. The shortest and surest way to live with honor in the world is to be in reality what we would appear to be, and if we observe, we shall find that all human virtues increase and strengthen themselves by the practice and experience of them. Strong minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, weak minds discuss people. Contentment is natural wealth, luxury is artificial poverty. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Regard your good name as the richest jewel you can possibly be possessed of. He is richest who is content with the least, for content is the wealth of nature. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. The only good is knowledge and the only evil is ignorance. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. The envious person grows lean with the fatness of their neighbor. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. Worthless people live only to eat and drink, people of worth eat and drink only to live. I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. He is not only idle who does nothing, but he is idle also who might be better employed. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. At the touch of love everyone becomes a poet. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Ideas are the source of all things. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. Justice means minding your own business and not meddling with other men's concerns. The price of apathy towards public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. The just man is most free from disturbance, while the unjust is full of the utmost disturbance. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. The soul takes nothing with her to the next world but her education and her culture. At the beginning of the journey to the next world, one's education and culture can either provide the greatest assistance or else act as the greatest burden. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. The more you are willing to accept responsibility for your actions, the more credibility you will have. The soul never thinks without an image. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. To be conscious that we are perceiving or thinking is to be conscious of our own existence. The more we do, the more we can do. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living from the dead. The one exclusive sign of thorough knowledge is the power of teaching. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival. Hope is a waking dream. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. It is the nature of desire not to be satisfied, and most men live only for the gratification of it. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. All men by nature desire to know. In all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. Nature does nothing uselessly. Those who know, do. Those that understand, teach. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. It is the nature of things to be born in obscurity and to die in obscurity, while being extremely popular during the intermediate time.